Look, Vegas is a crazy city, and I've spent too much time here and done too much damage to myself over the years, but I keep coming back. But now there's a reason to come back, which I think is going to be more impactful. Have you ever wondered why you are the way you are? I don't mean, your parents and your environment. I mean the choices you started to make and the things that you loved that really influenced the adult that you would become, and how crucial those things were when you were young. Well, just imagine there's a place that actually collects a whole bunch of those memories. I am so excited to see this for the very first time. Oh my God.
When you walk in, the first thing you see is Alice Bag, and she was such an important Latina, punk star from LA. We went Laura Jane Grace. And Tony Sly.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, I had to put Tony Sly in because what a fucking institution, what an amazing songwriter.
Yeah, so everybody...
and this is great. This is when I grew up in LA. This is Scrandy. He's on stage, bleeding from his head, drinking a glass of red wine, and Jay Bentley's playing bass.
Jay Bentley, amazing.
Yeah, this is maybe my favorite photo, just because that was LA. Yeah.
You must have big plans for this kind of thing and space and place.
No, just.
No, but now you must have. Now that you see what it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just people all want to come back because there's so much to look at.
Yeah.
No, it's just what's the point of this, right? It's bringing more joy to the world. I love this place. This place it brings so much joy to people. Look, that guy's smiling. That skateboard. That was my skateboard when I was 17. It's supposed to look like your grandma's house too.
Yeah.
Like grandma's couch and family albums. Like these are just candids of people hanging out. And I bought a telephone pole.
Okay.
It's cost $100 for a telephone pole.
Yeah.
And look, you can take them.
Oh, you can take them with you.
Look, the Neos, Canadian band.
You got a few Canadian
from Victoria.
You got a few Canadian bands.
Not anymore.
The details in this place are really interesting. It's a very, very detailed
Yeah, we
spot.
bought a telephone pole.
I know.
Fletcher from Pennywise, oh man, this is just all his doing. He took everything from the Pennywise rehearsal space, like the carpeting, all the guitars, all their equipment. That's Jason Thirsk's bass that he recorded Bro Him on. And this was exactly their rehearsal space.
Is insane and you're 14 years old or 12 or 16 and you cannot see your way through what's happening outside, you'd congregate in a little place like this and you would bash it out with your friends, and you would often have friends who weren't even in your band or just hanging around as well, smoking, drinking, all this other stuff that you would do when you were a kid. But in here, it felt like you were letting everybody out there knew how you were going to feel eventually as you were figuring it out. Also, it was just fun and crazy and riotous, an amazing way to expend energy, a safe way to expend energy. I'm surprised any boy survives boyhood, honestly. Places like this had huge, huge impact on keeping a lot of us okay. That's punk rock to me.
You're from Canada.
Yeah.
So look at the Canadian stuff.
Yeah.
And here you have, DOA. We have, that's a little painting that Chai Pig gave me, that he made for me.
By the way, look at Greg's fucking guitar.
Look at Dave Gregg's guitar, and Wimpy Roy's bass. And see those records?
Yep.
Those are my records. Those are my DOAs.
Yes.
You may not know this, but the term hardcore punk comes from DOA, from their album Hardcore 81. They coined the term hardcore. I want every punk band in the world to at least be on a flyer in the museum. I want anybody come here and go, oh my God,
We're here.
we're here. We're in the museum. George,
Yes.
why don't you read that postcard written to the Necros? The Necros were a hardcore band from Ohio. Read it out loud.
Send me info on the band and when they're gonna play in DC. Stick or two, please. Dave Grohl.
Yeah, Dave Grohl, he was 14. He wrote that to the Necros.
I like this too.
No, that's a real contract.
That's the record deal.
That was a record deal for the Pears. Dear Pears, you will record one record for Fat unless Fat asks for more. If Fat asks for more, you will politely give them more, if you want to. Like there's nothing concrete in there. It's just all. It's suggestive.
It's no way to run a business, but the only way to run the business in a way, right?
Yeah.
Because it worked.
No, I mean that's why we always did one record deals.
Yeah.
Because that's it.
Yeah.
If you want to leave, leave. And some bands left. most of them came back
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
I don't want to have some band tied to the label.
Another Canadian legend. Propaganda. I still have records from every fucking band in this window. Like, I still have records from every band in this window. Look at this. There's Joe Strummer's last bag of weed. Oh, look at this. This is Joe. There's the infamous vest. This is the photograph that inspired half of the press photos I ever did in my career. My head position was because of that picture. Sid Vicious's belt.
About the tiny details, you know, when things are coming in, like Negative Approach, all these bands I grew up on.
In the very beginning, was it easy to get paraphernalia for people?
Well, we couldn't have called bands. Like every time, whenever we called bands, we didn't get shit.
Really? Yeah.
No. It's like, what museum? I don't have that much. It's collecting on the street.
And look at this fucking Nirvana Grammy.
No, this is the shit. There's rules to the Grammy, and the rules are right there.
Things you can't do with it.
Yeah, you can only put a Grammy in your home or your office. You cannot put it on public display anywhere. So I said, well, can we have it for the museum? He said, sure.
Doesn't matter what the rules.
And this, you know, this Kurt Cobain, the couch, my old studio,
That's the couch.
You can sit on it and sit just like he was, you know. Then this Billboard Top 200.
Yep.
There's a band that entered this with a bullet. For 200,
Number
baby.
200.
You can't plan that shit.
The only way you found out about this stuff was a friend in another scene or a zine, especially if you grew up in a neighborhood where this was never going to reach you. You needed a zine, somebody would mail you a zine. You would make your own zine. And there's this incredible collection of people whose stories are told in all of these. I had stacks and stacks of zines in my house. The big one that we had was Maximum Rock and Roll. It was easier for me to find where I was. Rag and Death I knew. But they're all local, right? So everything was super local. And if you were to open it up, it's like it's interviews with these legends of the day today, but they weren't getting any press whatsoever. So some kid would go to the show, do an interview, go to a local copy store or to school. You'd go into the library at school, you just photocopy 50 copies of a couple of articles, put them together, do this stuff, and you're just photocopying on top of photocopying. Every magazine was a labor of love and passion from this, usually a kid in the scene who loved it so much. Anybody need some clergy? I'm qualified. Hey, how's it going, man? What's happening?
Feel free to check anything out. This is Jammer. You can play instruments.
Sweet.
Take pictures.
Whose is this?
Gogo Bodella.
Oh, Google. Eugene, eh? Thanks, buddy.